when you talk about being in a space, at 30, the space that I'm realizing is I don't have to do shit. That's something that I'm realizing a lot. A lot of stuff that I feel like I have to do, I don't have to do a motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
And I'm getting very comfortable with it, sitting with the fact that all this shit I think I gotta do, I don't have to fucking do it.
This show is brought to you by Hey, Me First.
Watching Heavy on the Field with Aaron Renee.
We're working on his healing. You know we're glowing and it's giving. Tell me, can you feel me?
You watching Heavy on
It
the
be heavy on the feelings.
I woke up.
Hey y'all, come on in. Welcome back to another episode of Heavy on the Feelings, where sometimes we be heavy on them, but heavy on the feelings doesn't mean that the feelings have to be hard. So I'm excited for y'all to be here. I hope that wherever you are watching this show, you are getting cozy, getting comfortable in your commute, whatever that may be, because I have a very, very, very special episode in store for y'all today. And the reason that it's special, there's really like 3 reasons. The first one is that although you all won't experience this as you're watching this, in streaming later on, but this is my first time recording in a year. I recorded for Heavy on the Feelings last May, at the beginning of May, I think. Yep, at the beginning of May, and I have not recorded since. So I'm feeling all of the nerves, the anxiousness, the excitement, the happiness to be here. And we're talking about one of my favorite things of all time, which is friendship. Like, if I could all day just make money from talking about friends, talking with my friends, just being with my sisters, that's literally what I would do. And who else better to do that with than the city's girl's girl, okay? There is no one better to do that than a person who appreciates friendship as much as me. So when I introduce you to this person, y'all, you're going to be addicted. You're not going to be able to get enough. She is so engaging. She just sucks up all the energy from you in all the good ways and pours it back 100-fold. So, but don't worry, about that, because she has a show as well that you can stream. There's plenty of episodes. It's on the Uprising Network. You can go and watch that right after you finish this episode. Okay. Oh, and the Twitter following, my girl be on there denouncing the patriarchy, the government, and she got damn near everybody saying it's time to start stealing. Get what you can, okay? Get yours. Get your shit back.
All of it.
Okay, so without further ado, I want to introduce you to my guest, okay? The host of Ask Jenn Show, Detroit's Oprah, the girl's girl, Jenn.
Oh my, I can't, first of all, that was a good intro. I would love for you to write my bio if I wrote a book at any point. Thank you.
Thank you.
And start stealing, for sure. Start stealing, for sure. Everyone needs to be taken.
Everybody, literally, the economy is too high, okay?
The economy is too high. We have not gotten anything back, no reparations. Everybody is suffering. The government is taking what they can get from us. I see it every check. It's about time we start getting ours back.
Okay.
Wow. I need my 100 acres and a mule.
All of it. And I heard there was a reparations task force being put together here in Detroit. So I'm gonna need parts. My family actually is not from here, but I feel connected because I'm Black. So I'm here now, and I will need everything reparated to me, okay? Even though it's not a word, I'm gonna need it reparated to me.
Do you know what I be wondering about? My family is from Nigeria. When reparations do come around, because I feel like they are at some point, do I qualify?
I don't know.
See?
And my mama is white, so I'm like, damn, do I only get 50% or what?
They gotta figure out the technicalities.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how technical do we get? What is really up? So I want to talk about friendship, right? And we can't talk about friendship without talking about how you and I met and us meeting through a mutual friend, and then how our friendship has kind of evolved. So I remember meeting you at Jaleesa's. We were on a FaceTime. I remember, and I only really remember the FaceTime because I remember your glasses, and I just remember you walking around, and I could just see this part of your face.
My glasses are always so big.
They're so present.
My glasses are always so
I went
big.
and got new glasses recently, and I took a picture and asked, I didn't know if I loved these glasses yet, and Jenn said, keep them because they match mine, and I You see.
And now we got them.
They're still on. So I remember seeing you on that FaceTime with Jaleesa, and then we were helping her do her event, her first hairathon here in Detroit, which she just had her second one.
Crazy.
It went incredible. I won basically like a whole year of hair services. Okay.
Literally.
Shout out to Chanel.
The luckiest girl.
Yes. And then what happened after that?
I just always saw you. And I'm like, the way you showed up for Jaleesa, like I remember how her recap video looked. I remember how attentive you were that day. And I kept seeing you in spaces, and I'm just like, we already had the introduction. We already worked together. We know each other well. I'm just like, I like Erin. She has a good energy. She has a good presence. This is just somebody I want to have around me. I pick up strays like all the time. I see people on the internet or a friend of a friend or somebody on the street. I'm like, I really like them. I'm really big on like sharing energy, kind of what you said about me. So I'm like, when I was able to capture that from you, I'm like, okay, I saw her in a working space like this. Let me see what else this girl is about. And you are so fun. You are brilliant. You are charismatic. So I'm glad that I picked you up off the street.
I wasn't straight, but I have a home now.
She
Okay,
has a home
I'm
now.
at home now. Wow. Okay, so that was 3 years ago. Yeah.
That was so long ago.
That was so long. It would be 3 years, I think, like November. She did it in the fall. Wow. Since then, we have worked together. We work on your show. We've worked in other capacities outside of your show as well. You came and hosted the premiere party for Heavy on the Feelings.
You hired me to do work for other companies. Hoop Mob,
yeah.
like that was Hoop Mob has worked with me twice since you introduced me to them. So I'm like,
and you look great every time.
Thank you. So I'm like, you know, the bouncing back and forth of opportunities outside of our friendship has been like really heavy and generous between the two of us.
Yeah,
sure.
I love working with you.
I like working with you too.
Yeah.
I know if Erin around, stuff gonna get done. And she gonna ask how it's getting done, and she's gonna make sure that it happens. And I do not have a problem with that, because one thing about me is, I've said this on other platforms, I be quitting. I stop things. I don't follow things through. Erin don't let me drop stuff. I kid you not, and I say this with 100% honesty. I know I've never said this to you before. If you was not still working on Action, I know I would have quit by now. I know I would have quit by now for sure. You hold me accountable. Yeah, you keep shit together. I be wanting to stop all the time.
Wow. And you just like the vision for Ask Jenn and the crew, but it's already phenomenal. So for you to say you would have quit without me,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I really appreciate that.
I
be wondering like, damn, there's just too many meetings. Like, are you tired of talking to me about this?
I'll do whatever you say.
Because you're my friend, we'll get to this in a little bit, like just working with friends is something that I've always heard is a bad thing. Like always my whole life, you don't work with friends, you don't work with family, you don't mix pleasure and business. And I just work with my friends and have such good experiences that is not true for me. Like there may be one or two outliers, but from the most part, like I absolutely love working with my fucking friends. It's just like an added layer of depth to the relationship. One of my friends told me a while ago, like sisterhood is like getting your edges snatched and then your sister coming and laying them back down, right? It's that process of like snatching a little bit, laying the edges back down. And when she told me that, it kind of took me aback because I never thought about something beautiful like sisterhood being something that also can cause pain, or also, you know, when you get that fresh braid set and them edges is new, it be hurting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And to have and to know somebody can come back and lay them back down, that act in itself is a process of sisterhood. It is a testament to how we love and communicate with each other. I feel like that is my new definition of friendship and sisterhood. It's like, I need you to hold me accountable, but I also need you to love and support me and be with me. How would you define friendship?
I really define friendship like very similar to that, like someone being able to hold you accountable and keeping you in line, but at the very same time, someone seeing you whole. And when I say whole, like the good parts, the bad parts, the parts of you that aren't so fun and aren't so happy, and seeing that and being like, yeah, I still fuck with you anyway. Like that's what sisterhood is about. I don't want the friendships and the people who only want to be around when stuff is good and when I'm having fun and when there's money there to be spent. I want somebody who's going to be there to be on the phone to cry with me, who's going to talk to me when I say I don't feel like doing anything no more, when I want to complain about my job or my family. Someone who sees those parts of me and doesn't say, that is so messy, that is so imperfect, I don't want to be a part of that, and see that and be like, how can I help you get out this space? That is what the most critical piece of friendship is for me. Somebody who actually give a fuck outside of all the fun stuff.
Whew,
give a fuck.
Give a
please.
fuck.
Please.
Give a fuck. Okay. I like to be around people who give a fuck. Whatever it is that they're giving a fuck about, it makes everything seem like there's care, there's integrity, there's a level of loyalty, because I'm committed to doing what that thing is because I give a fuck. So like, in a way, I am loyal to doing that thing, which means I'm loyal to you. And I think it just stirs the pot, it just adds that extra little.
And then when I talk about wholeness, life is whole because of you there. My passions are your passions. The things I care about, you care about. We're sharing life.
Yeah.
Like my friendships are as important to me as my romantic relationships. Like us doing life together, you thinking about me, you considering me, you including me as you move through spaces, as you move through life, knowing that you want me by your side. Like when people talk about consideration as the highest form of love, it applies to friendships as well.
Whew. Chills. Like consideration, to be considered. I have said that I think like 3 or 4 times this week. To be considered by people, to be seen by people, to be thought of. It is the most vulnerable I feel like you can be with a person, because it's like I can see you. Like, and because I can see you, I can see me.
You feel me?
And we can consider each other without even having to think about it as work. I love you.
I'll do it. Friendship and working together, I'm like, I love you. I would do anything for you. So what if this is work? I'm doing this for you. It's fine.
So has your definition of friendship evolved since you were younger? Like, you seem very keen on, no, it needs to be these things. Have you been in situations with friends where you've had to learn, maybe in difficult ways, like, no, I can't. This is not what a friend is.
So yes and no. I want to say not me directly per se, but seeing my friends in friendships with other people and watching those go to the wayside, I cannot lie. I very rarely lost a friend. A few friends, I'm not a yes man. I'm a good friend, but I'm not a yes man. A few friendships that I have lost are simply because somebody wanted me to go along with a bad decision that they made. I'm just like, it's a hard hell no for me. And that's okay. But watching like some of my friends like go through ebbs and flows within their friendships, I'm like, I know as someone who has really good friends, this is not supposed to look like this. And I'm like, I'm not going to interject, because what looks like friendship to me, what I feel like friendship is, that definition does not apply to everybody. So I'm like, you're going to have to figure this out the hard way. But I'm just like, it's so many times in my mind, I'm like, I would never let that happen to me. And I hope you going through this experience, this is something that you never want to do to somebody else. I had 2 older sisters growing up. So like, always had friends around. My friends had sisters. And I feel like that's another strong thing that I'm realizing. A lot of my friendships, the women in my life have very strong relationships with the women in their lives. So like, they have really good sisters or really good aunts or really good moms. And I don't know if that's something I seek or that's just something I notice, but I'm like, when I look at my patterns and friends, that's something that all of them like really have in common.
Yeah.
And I think that is why I feel like my friendship will go good. Because you girls, we can be catty. We can be weird. We can be on and off. But when you learn how to work with that, I feel like your relationship when women becomes so much better. It's a teaching experience.
It absolutely does. And there's also a lot of research on the ways that we communicate with each other. Black women specifically communicate with each other intimately. And as we're growing, it's like we see each other in ways like even our romantic partners cannot, right? In heterosexual relationships specifically, like just men can't understand. And even though you're like having a different relationship, it's different to be with your sisters and to be connected and to have that support and to show up. Like nobody does it like women. Nobody does it like us in all of the ways that we love. And
that's
I
why
think
we gay sometimes, because nobody do it.
You heard it here first. Special announcement.
Nobody does it like women. Like I just no, but when you talking about like that understand it goes so far.
It's deep rooted. It is deep rooted. And like I said, it's a level of I see you and understand you, because there's so much about women that is unique. And when you can already start up, it's like interracial dating, but like it's like intersexual dating, but like intersexual dating.
Okay,
right?
I said interracial. This is an African American
intergender dating. It's like intergender dating. So it's like, oh, interracial dating is like, well, this is difficult because like you don't even see what I'm saying in terms of race at all. But it's like, oh, you're a woman, you understand the gender part, and then you a black woman, you understand the race part.
Oh,
You understand that I can't be either just a black person and a woman. You understand that I'm a black woman and I go through the world like that. Oh, all we got to focus on is the love part and the figuring out the little small shit. And you understand I'm moody 2 weeks out the month and I make you moody 2 weeks out the month. And fuck it. I
was a bitch to Dan like last week. Like, so, and I was literally just PMSing. He like, what is wrong? Like, what is going on? I'm like, nothing is wrong with me.
Do you hate
and also
me?
At the same time, just like, why you don't know that this is what's wrong with me, that I'm normal 2 weeks
why you can't
out the
tell?
entire month.
Why you can't tell? All right, now I done lived with you long enough. Why you can't tell?
Understanding. it's out of here.
For real. Do you remember like your first friend?
Yes.
Who's your first friend?
Her name was Darian Edmonds. We were in kindergarten together. I sat next to her on the first day of school. Mm-hmm. Her Darian Edmonds and her name is Viandra Hayden. Strangely enough, me and Viandra are still friends to this day.
That's not strange to me.
One of my first friends.
I can see that for you.
We are still friends to this day. Her son is the exact same age as my daughter. She lives in California now, but we're still very close. In my kindergarten class, we had to sit on a sign like squares. Mm-hmm. I was really tall. I've been tall my whole life. So me and the other tallest girl in class were sitting in the back. Because, of course, if we in kindergarten, I can't be blocking all the motherfucking kids.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting next to her. This is the tall girl. And we just talking back and forth. It's time for us to go home. We realized we live on the same block. Her grandma lived my house was 3 houses from the corner. Her grandma lived in the house across the street from the corner.
Damn.
So we went to school together. We went home together. We played it with each other. Her grandma had a mobile home in the back of her house. So she will always let us play in there. Like, we would be playing full-blown house in this mobile home. And I love her to this day. Strangely enough, like 50 years later, because I'm a grandma. Me and her ended up dating the same guy, which was really nice. But I
thought y'all were gonna say date. I thought you were gonna say dated each other.
No, dated the same guy.
Friendships, we were being very explorative.
We was dating the same guy, and when she found out he was dating me, she was so happy. She was like, "Oh, you going here? Oh, no. Yeah, it was so weird, but I love her.
Wow, I became friends with somebody, and we dated the same guy.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, this is
we
phenomenal.
became friends after.
It's like, why does this matter?
Who cares? We were in high school. I had dated him.
To make more niggas. Why are we dating the same men with multiple friendships? Well, how did it happen? Tell me your business.
So this is in high school. So basically, I already lived there. I went to a school where a lot of military kids kind of fluctuate in and out. I was one of those military kids. She came like maybe a year after me. I had dated him for a while. We no longer dated. And then they dated. She was in my class. I thought she was cool. I was really not studying this man. Like, all the girls was crazy about him. And I realized I had dated him too early because I was like in that initial, I'm also crazy about this nigga. Oh, you play football, you do this. But then when I got to know him, I was like, he is dumb as hell.
Oh my God.
Like, he is dumb. And I've always been a person like, you have to be smart because I am too smart. I cannot be skating in circles around you like this. It's not fun for me. So yeah, she dated him and we were in an anatomy class my junior year, her senior year. And we just started like talking and communicating and becoming friends. I think we had a mutual girlfriend and it wasn't no beef. Wow. It was just like, you dated him, I dated him. Neither of us date him anymore.
It shouldn't be no beef. What's to do?
What's to do? So that was it. We still homegirls. She has a couple kids now. That was something that I feel like I didn't do a good job as a friend. And I think we kind of started separating as friends from her point of like maybe getting pregnant. Because when she got pregnant, it was probably 24. And I'm about to be 30 this year. And I still feel like when people get pregnant, ask my baby this. I just said this the other day at our show. I be walking past them like, bitches is pregnant. What are they gonna do with a baby? Oh my God. I'm walking past 33-year-olds. I'm walking past 33-year-olds like, dog, how are they gonna manage a baby? And so at that time, I think just didn't know. I wasn't sure how to assist. She's very much like that strong friend. She's not gonna ask for anything. You can offer and she's not gonna take it. So I just kind of like, I think we just kind of started separating. And then she was with a person that I feel like was a little more like controlling.
That'll do
and
it.
over a while, like we just kind of like fizzled out. And recently I think she got divorced and we've been talking a little more.
Can I say something about that? So when you talk about like pregnancy with friendships, like even when you were a little younger, like being harder for your friends to transition through that with you, having a partner or a baby daddy that your friends do not like make that so much more difficult. My friends were so present during my pregnancy. I was still outside every birthday dinner, every party. I still got invited to whether I came or not. That was my choice, but they never left me out or made me feel I ostracized for being pregnant. And I feel like it's because they love my baby daddy.
They knew you had the support.
They knew it.
They knew you had the support. And I don't know that I felt that per se in our situation, but it was just like, oh, you have a lot going on. I don't really know how I relate or maybe how I fit in. We were already friends who, like, every time we saw each other, it was love, but we might not see each other for 3 months at a time. So I'm like, okay. You know, but I see the pictures and we FaceTime sometimes, and it's fun.
I love that. And I feel like people feel pressure to always fully show up in friendship. You have very good friendships that y'all only may see each other every 3 months, or only may just send a birthday gift or some flowers, or I'm thinking about you. That's still friendship, even though it's not as intense and deep and strong. It's that connection is still there, and it still matters.
Yeah, I've been rethinking my friends and like trying to prioritize or kind of reprioritize what you're saying. Like, these are the people that I talk to every day, and this is kind of what I'm anticipating from these people because of conversations we've had, because I communicated it. Okay. Like, this is what I'm expecting from them. And then there's other people, like you said, like when I see them out, or we might plan something once every few months, and that's love. And then there's people who is like, oh, I just say happy birthday, or maybe if you got some good news, I might say something, but it's not a consistent thing. And I think where I was struggling with that before is like, I'm expecting people to kind of pour in at the same level, but I had to readjust and get to a place where it's like, I'm doing this because I want to do this, and kind of remove the ego and being like, I love you, I care about you because we were best friends for 6 months this time, or for 3 years or 10 years or whatever. And, you know, now our relationship is where it is. So happy birthday.
I have like so many random intense friendships with people. Like, there are people who I'm cool with, or I'm friends with to this day, that we were best friends for like 2 years.
That's
and then
that
never
Aries
talked
energy.
again. Or best friends for like 3 months, or went hard for a summer and like never saw again. And that when they see each other, it's all love.
It's
they
love.
remember all that good fun we had, all the good times we
love.
had. So it's just like this. Whatever I gave them in that short period of time is carrying me for a lifetime. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Hey, me first.
Got a little game.
Ooh.
I know you like games.
I love games. I'm a game playing bitch.
So
I like it.
This is like a version of, well, first you gotta give me 3 friends' names.
Amber, Koof, Lauren.
Okay, Amber, Koof, Lauren. Who you calling when you having a hard day? Who are you calling for a slumber party? And who you calling to travel across the country with?
Oh my God.
In the car.
Me and Amber.
You didn't say her name.
Oh, I said Amber, Koof, Lauren.
Oh, I thought you said, you right. My bad.
Me and Amber is like Oprah and Gail, but also at the same time, me and Koof like used to go on trips across the country all the time to party. Like literally Atlanta, New York, Florida, Cali. We was going out the country. Out like flying out of state just to party. Fly across the country for a road trip. Koof don't drive, so it'll definitely be Amber. Koof do not drive.
Ooh. I wish I did not drive.
Koof do not drive. I can't go.
I wish I could take that back.
I
as a
drive
skill.
the whole place back and forth. No, she can't come. So it'll be Amber. It'll be Amber for sure.
Okay.
We just went to Toronto last week.
Okay. That is true. Slumber party.
Ooh, Lauren be cooking. Lo is a mama. Like she
be cooking.
She take care of her people. A slumber party, she gonna make sure all of us got a nice good blanket, a fluffed pillow somewhere to lay down. She gonna be checking on us through the night. It might be a mint on my pillow when we wake up. Slumber party is definitely going on Lauren.
Yeah. The last thing, I feel like it's perfect. It just kind of worked out this way because I know Koof is who are you calling to turn up with?
Oh my gosh, it's cool.
She be turned up.
That is a party girl.
She be turned
Koof has had the
up.
same energy since she been 18. I'm low key scared of her because I'm like, you touching 40. Like, sit down. That is a turn up girl.
So you just named those 3 friends, but you have a core group of friends. So how did y'all meet?
Oh my gosh, all of us went to Michigan State at one point.
Okay.
I didn't know. Look, this is the thing. Me and Lauren and Koof, like, we was cool, but Koof and Lauren and Amber like were way closer to each other. I probably didn't get close. I knew Lauren, of course, but I didn't get close to her until like after we got out of school. Amber, strangely enough, we went to the same high school freshman year. Mm-hmm. We both had swimming together, and both me and Amber would skip swimming and like just be sitting in the bleachers and talk, and we like got F's together. So like that was our friendship. So, and then I ran back into her. So at Michigan State, there's like a weekend to go like and make your schedule and pick your major and stuff like that. I ran into Amber there. Amber, knowing everybody, of course, she's like, you want to come into the football building? We hanging out in the football building with the football players and stuff like that. And that was my first introduction to Amber. But I never saw her freshman year. Sophomore year, I had a single. Amber had a single. And we were moving in the same building. We got our estimated refund check and was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I need to get me a motherfucking roommate. I need to get my little 2 bands back.
Okay.
We was in the same situation. So me and Amber decided to live with each other. Koof was her sweet mate at the time when she was in her single. So I moved into her single. And that's how I met Koof. When I met Koof, when we were driving back to Detroit, I ended up finding out Koof lived around the corner from me. So then me and Koof was just spending all the time together because we was neighbors.
We was home.
When we was home, yeah, we was neighbors. And even so, when we was living together, like in college, Koof used to do my hair. Koof used to wash my hair for me, flat iron it, blow dry it. I taught Koof how to do her makeup. Koof could outbeat Koof do makeup way better than me now. I taught Koof how to do her makeup, everything. Of course, she don't drive. Used to drive her to work and stuff like that. Lauren, of course, Lauren did hair on campus. She did my hair before. So I would see her at a party.
So you make friends from...
I told you, I still am off the street.
You like, oh, you do hair, it's gonna start to be a bond. It's like, I have to see you, we gonna connect, I like you. So you choose service providers who you actually fuck with, is what I'm hearing.
I love, I'm like, and it becomes so organic. I'm like, oh, I like the first time I want to say like me and Koof had talked for real. Oh my gosh. This was the first day I met her. Me and Amber had a dance contest in our bedroom, and Koof was the judge. And me and Amber went out that night. I came, and Koof had to work in the cafeteria the next morning. That's another thing. Koof be working. My bitch don't play. She a hustling ass bitch. We was drinking E&J. I was throwing up so bad. Koof barely knew my name at this point. She just met me that night. She woke up. It had to be like 4:00 in the morning. She had to be up for work at 6. Are you okay? And was bringing me water. After that, I was like, oh, I fuck with her. And then I was like, oh, her and Amber's cool. Like, I fuck with her. Lauren, of course, like I said, she do hair, but she was always like really involved with stuff on campus. So I'm like, if I wanted to know what was going on, I would tap in with Lauren. And then Treese was Amber's very good friend. Her and Amber have known each other since they was kids. They used to do like dance and singing and like some arts things like after school together. So I didn't know Treese when she went to Michigan State. Actually, Treese was a model for my very good friend clothing line. And my friend was like, do you know Treese? I'm like, I don't know her.
Treese.
I was like, I don't know her for it. But when I saw the picture, I said, this girl is gorgeous. And then when Amber...
She's stunning.
We call ourselves Rich Bitch Energy. We get RBE, Rich Bitch Energy. We come together and we are always thinking about how to elevate ourselves, how to elevate our bands, how to get money, how to do things together. And like, I feel like sometimes ideas get made in a vacuum, in a silo, and they are the perfect sounding board to me. Like they are Paula Abdul and Simon Cowell to me. Like if I got an idea, I'm Randy. Yeah, dog.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog. I'm always using them. That's what I say. And people don't like to be used in friendships. I like to be used. If I am your friend, use me. If you feel like I have a resource that you have or something you can tap into, or I can connect you to somebody, use me. I be using my girls.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about watching y'all's friendship. I think you can tell that y'all are committed to each other, that y'all love each other, but most importantly, like y'all are going to support each other. And I feel like friendships that are established high school, college, around that time, they're either locked in or it's very fickle. So to see that y'all are 5 deep, 5 beautiful Black women from Detroit who are like together, that's incredible. And all of y'all are very successful at what it is that you do.
I like to
which
think
is
so.
Also like admirable. Y'all get to push each other, y'all get to see each other, and y'all get to like strip down a layer of yourself so that you can be whole with each other. Because the wholeness is important.
Okay.
The wholeness is important. And you can't have long-term friendships, decades-long friendships without really being vulnerable with each other. I think that is my biggest thing and something I've been learning out of friendship. And some of my strongest lessons are like, you can't have the things. People aren't going to use you in good ways that you want. People aren't going to show up for you if you aren't being vulnerable and saying, here's what I need, or here's how I can help you, or here's how I can make an offering. I have, at the top of this year coming into 2023, I was really struggling with feelings of loneliness. I had the Heavy on the Feelings premiere party last summer, and literally leaving that party like was one of the loneliest days, like evenings, next days of my life. I just felt really down. I was feeling like I just had this high ass moment, like literally high as hell. We were all literally high as hell. Okay. Shout out to the sponsors. So it was super high, but also just like in terms of milestone, it was a really big deal for me being someone who's not from Detroit to throw in a fundraiser like that and have it sell out with all of those people who I had just met in the last 2 years come to an event like that. I was like, wow, y'all really fuck with me, with what I got going on. But I get in the car after it and I'm just like, oh. Like immediately, like almost like some Kanye shit, like, hey. And I felt like in that moment, I don't even know if I realized how lonely I was or how lonely that process was because I had a team. I was like, oh, we're working. We have these producers. I'm talking about these ideas. But I wasn't really sharing like, here's what's happening. Here's the how I'm feeling. You know, you had talked a lot about how are we going to do this? How I'm feeling, how I'm experiencing this. This is what I'm going through as I'm planning this big event. Not just do I have these check boxes in order? Did I get the vendor? Did I get the tables? Like, this is the emotions that I felt on this call. And in January, I decided after having the next like maybe 4 or 5 months to reflect, okay, what do you need from your friends? What feels good for you? What is friendship for you? And what I decided friendship was me communicating, hey, here's where I'm at, and communicating the process, not just the destination. That's something I learned this week. I heard that like most people think running. I watched Air. I don't know if y'all watched Air yet.
I didn't watch it yet.
It was good, but it was a little gem in there from Phil where he says like most people think running is about getting to the destination. Running is about the process. And it made me think about life is like that, right? We always be going to get to the destination. And a lot of times we only communicate about the destination. But I felt like I was lonely because I hadn't communicated about the process leading up to the destination. So yes, people were excited for me. My friends called me from out of state. They were checking on me day of. You were there. Y'all, everybody was there. But like nobody really came with me on that process because I didn't let them in. And so in January, I was like, oh, I have to start communicating that. I have to start letting people know like, hey, this is stressing me out, this phone call, or this made me really happy, or this is what I'm juggling. And feelings don't always have to be hard, but sometimes they are heavy, even the good ones. And you need to be able to share that to bring people in so that you can really be excited and fulfilled and sustained in those moments. So that is what, friendship is teaching me. It's teaching me a lot about vulnerability. I thought I was being vulnerable because something I like to do is like, oh, I can communicate about my feelings. Like once it's over, I'm like, oh yeah, I was going through that and I was talking about that and oh yeah, I was feeling this. But like when I'm feeling it, when the wound is fresh and I'm like, oh, that kind of feels icky. Having to explain that and share that makes me feel like, oh, maybe I'm a complainer, or oh, maybe it brings up all those negative self-talk. I'm a complainer. I'm the center of attention. I'm just being difficult or whatever. But it's like, no, you need space to vent.
Hello?
It's okay to vent. It's okay to share what you have going on. And I know that I'm a good person. Now I feel like I'm accepting it. Like I'm a good person and I can affirm that. So I can be okay, like being vulnerable, because all those negative self-talk, like that's not true. That's not true. So what is friendship teaching you right now?
What friendship is teaching me right now is the type of friend you want to be to everybody you can, and everybody possibly won't accept that. I've been in spaces where as the type of friend I am, like I really do try to give things my all. And I'm realizing like some people have been scarred or burned in friendships or relationships with the way that I'm coming. They just not accepting to that. Whew. And it's not a personal thing. It's just like, your life is shaped by those experiences. Unfortunately, I can't take those experiences from you, but at the same time, it's not my problem. If the type of person I am in the way that I'm showing up does not work with you or does not align with the way you are, I'm not adjusting, I'm not changing. We're probably just gonna have to reconsider or separate, or just, it might just be a happy birthday text, or it might just be I just wanted to see how you were doing. But that's something that friendship is teaching me right now. Also, I'm just like, I'm not the most popular person in the world. I'm not Oprah, but Ask Jenn is
Detroit's Oprah.
I'm Detroit
soon
Oprah.
to be, as Young Miami say, the Black Oprah.
I want to be on TV, but I'm the Black Oprah for sure. I'm the blackest bitch you know. Let out. I take the title easy. Carisha, count your motherfucking days. But people want to go where I'm going. And as a person who is always open and loving and accepting to friendships, I want everybody to come with me. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm doing more of the looking around like, why are you here? Before that's not any, I'm a bad, dope bitch. I'm fun. We have a good time. I'm not petty. Duh, everybody want to be my friend. Like, I get that. But now I'm actually considering, I'm like, hold on. Why are you here? That's something that I'm in a space.
Ho, why
right
is you
now.
here?
Ho, why is you here? What's up? And if you want something, like I said, I don't mind
Just
being
say
used. If you want something, let me know.
Yeah.
But you don't gotta fake the friendship.
I don't like when people fake the friendship to get access to what is. Most often it's what they think you have access to. It's not even what you really have tangible access to. It's like, you saw me talk to that person one time at a club event 6 years ago on Snapchat. You thought I still had a connection and can get you 20 grand for an event?
No. If you know somebody who can give me 20 grand for an event, have them email Aaron right now, because baby, I need it. But when you were talking about like being vulnerable and sharing like those scary parts, one thing that I consciously do whenever I enter a space with my friends, I'm supposed to vent. Like, that's something that I do consciously, so people don't feel like they're in the dark or feel like they don't know what I'm going through. Like you said, the process. When they ask me how is my relationship, I vent. When they ask me how is Ask Jenn, I vent. If I am ever in a enclosed space, shoot, I might do it at the brunch table. Can't lie, depending on how many mimosas I've had.
Okay.
If I'm in a space with my friends and they ask me how I'm doing, I make it my business to
It's
vent.
your job.
I'm not coming, I'm fine.
It's
I don't
our
have
job.
to. Because I might ask someone close to me, you're asking because you want an honest answer. And I'm like, I don't care if it don't make sense. I don't care if my thoughts are jumbled. It's not linear. You want to hear how I feel, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah. And that just deepens the relationship because it opens up space for that person to also say, hey, this is what I have going on. Because oftentimes you might say, hey, how you doing? And they might be like, oh, I'm doing good. And they ask you and then you just open up and they'll be like, well, actually, let me tell you how I'm doing too.
Do you want to know what my friends started doing? How are you, Jen, except for good? Because they're like, you're not going to tell me you good. So figure something else out. Make up another adjective.
I love that.
To be specific,
how
be
good
honest.
it is to be seen. Like, you can't cape in front of people who love you because they know that doing that doesn't serve you.
Hello?
It doesn't serve you. Doing it on your own, experiencing those emotions, navigating life, just telling everybody it's good all the time, I got my shit together, whatever. Even if you do, it's not good. It's not healthy. It should be pissing people off. I'm just now getting to a space, it's a little tangent. I'm just now 29.
It's your show. Ain't no such thing as a tangent.
At 29, getting to a place where like I'm experiencing rage or anger or like being actually upset. Like, I was fighting in high school, but just on some petty shit, like on some big bully shit. Not on no, you actually made me mad. I want to fight you. Like, why the fuck why are you standing in front of my locker? Now I gotta fight you because you knew this was my space. But I'm not mad. So it's just like, now I find, like the other day I was having a conversation, texting somebody, and it made me so mad I like screamed out loud. And I don't know if I've ever done that. And I think being in spaces with my friends where we have been communicating about being upset and being angry and finding resources online about how to navigate my emotions, right? As I'm like sharing with my friends, I'm also exploring myself. Like, oh, these things are fucking normal in therapy. But like, oh, it's normal. I can go and do some pillow slams on my bed. Mm-hmm. Like, that doesn't hurt anybody. I'm not fucking a child because I'm doing it. I'm literally getting out what I'm experiencing. And through that process, I now can like share with my friends. Like, hey, this is what I got going on.
That pissed me off.
That pissed me the fuck off. Like, oh, let me be angry about it for a minute. Like, let me not try to rationalize, because I'm going to rationalize the fuck out of it. I'm going to make a lot of excuses for the other person and give a lot of grace. And then I minimize how I actually feel. So my friends have been teaching me through watching them talk about themselves, through us challenging each other, through the resources, to like take up more space in my own narrative. Mm-hmm. I don't have to center everybody else. It's my story.
It's interesting that you said that, because I'm moving in the exact opposite direction. I was a very angry, like confrontational person for at some point, and now just don't nothing be making me mad no more because I'm very big on okay, fuck you, like okay, just bye. Like, okay, this don't please you, don't please me either, bye. Okay, fuck you. Yeah. We don't have to deal with each other. We don't have to talk about this. I'm just like, when you talk about being in a space, at 30, the space that I'm realizing is I don't have to do shit. That's something that I'm realizing a lot. A lot of stuff that I feel like I have to do, I don't have to do a motherfucking thing. Yeah. And I'm getting very comfortable with it, sitting with the fact that all this shit I think I gotta do, I don't have to fucking do it. And some days I don't.
Yeah, I'm learning that from you for sure. That is a lesson that I get from you. It's like, one, not to give a fuck, and embarrassment is fake. Like, that is something that I tell myself all of the time. You gotta I don't even know if you was the first person to say it, but you was the first person that I read it, and then I hear you say it all the time. But like, I read your tweet, and I was like, oh. Yeah, fuck that shit. It is fake.
It's so much stuff
I get to do whatever I want to do. It doesn't matter who's looking at me. I can go out. I can do what I want. I can be my full body. Like, one thing I love about you, because you are tall and you also are a thick girl, like, you don't make concessions for what should be on your body. You gonna wear whatever the fuck you want, right? So like, me as your friend, I'm like, oh, I can wear whatever the fuck I want. Like, it gives me a permit. That's what friendship does and sisterhood does. It gives me permission to be more of myself. Watching you be more of yourself, not give a fuck, be setting your boundaries, reminds me at every step of the way, like, oh, I can do this. I should be doing this.
Ask Jenn is an advice show, and people write into me to ask advice. One thing that I want people to take away is I don't want you to think because a choice you made is not the choice I would make, it's a bad choice. I want people to watch my show, get the advice that they need. You take that advice, or you are okay with the choice that you are making, and both are completely fine.
Yes. So speaking of takeaways, I want people to take away a few things about friendship from our conversation, from you being, the girl's girl, from me being a friendship connoisseur. We're going to create them together. Okay.
All right.
So how does someone go about starting a new friendship, in your opinion? What are some things you would tell somebody trying to start a new friendship?
Make sure you got stuff in common with them. It's very hard to start a new friendship like from nothing. Don't be the girl who...
Maybe follow them on social.
See what they like. Y'all in the same people comments or like the same people. Don't be the person who is in a friendship with a girl because you like her clothes or you like what she got going on. That won't go far. Make sure y'all actually have common interests.
Up here.
Turn it on.
I would definitely agree with that. I would say follow them on social because we live in a social world, and just kind of see what they're talking about. Go to their liked tweets. That's a really good place to see. Are we on the same wavelength without ever even having to say anything? I like to observe from afar and just do my little research and make notes and then move accordingly. We never even have to have a conversation. Okay. So that would be something I would suggest. And then maybe, if they post something on their story or you comment on their stuff after a couple times, maybe slide in their DMs.
Show love. I be showing love. I'm a Detroit girl. You gotta dick suck just a little bit. You want a friend, you don't have no problem dick sucking these niggas. You better dick suck these girls you want to be friends with.
Showing love is as a non-Detroiter, I feel like sometimes when people be showing love, it gets wrapped up as dick sucking too fast. I'm like, that's not fair. But I also, that's the culture. Show love first. Be genuine about it. And then it's not dick sucking.
There we go. You cracked the code. You've been here long enough.
Thank you. Okay, so somebody mentioned Koof isn't here anymore. Or maybe you mentioned that. Either way.
She live in California.
You have long distance friendships, right? I have long distance friendships. My best friend's in California. My other best friend is in Arizona. I have really good friends on the East Coast. And then honestly, if you live in Ann Arbor, it's long distance.
It's long.
Like, that's a long distance relationship to me as well. So, what are some tips that you have for connecting and keeping close with your long distance friend?
Consistently bully them into coming home. Because can I say this? And this is why I'm a bad friend. I'm the only one out of our friendship group who has never gone to California and seen Koof. Why? Because you need to be bringing your ass here. You want me to leave my family at home to go see you? We can just hop on a plane and go see me. Bully your friends at every point to come home and come see you and be with you. That's how you keep the long distance friendship going.
I like the bully. I would say FaceTimes are things that work really, really well. I like to set the camera up, and then I'll clean the house. I'll be walking around doing my shit. That helps. Or just AirPods in, walking around doing things. And then me and my friends started doing something after communicating in January about like, hey, I kind of just need to talk through process. We started doing just like these almost like little diary dumps, text messages. So like my friend just might text me like, hey, this is what's going on today, and just like little updates that you don't necessarily get on a regular basis because you live 3 hours behind me and you live, 1,000+ miles away. So these little texts kind of help keep me informed of the little day-to-day. And I think with friendships, what's important for me is kind of being in that day-to-day a little bit.
You like, I want to know what you ate for
I
breakfast.
want to know what you doing.
Such a
I'll
good
be on the
friend.
friend.
Let me start that. I got to start doing that.
I'll be on the phone with my friend. She's like, yeah, I'm about to make some. I'm like, oh, you about to use that chili sauce you used yesterday? Like,
there we go.
I ain't never even had it. I ain't never even visit her in Arizona.
This is sweet.
And then the last thing, any tips you have for like rekindling a broken friendship?
A broken friendship, the only thing I ask you not do is don't come back like everything good. You need to address and repair the harm or whatever caused that fracture. You cannot just, hey, I'm so sorry I was missing for all this time. I was going through or doing X, Y, Z, or, we just fell off. I'm trying to get us back on the right track. Do not just come back like everything is good. Actually come with effort. Address, repair, and also be open to the fact that, hey, they might not be receptive and this might not go as far as you want to. They might not fuck with you
anymore.
Yeah, that's okay.
It depends why it's broken. Is it just like y'all have gone a really long time without talking, or it's like y'all did something to each other and it's a wrap? It really depends on how the friendship is broken, right? If it's just like we haven't talked for a long time and it's kind of like fell off, or is it like some shicey shit happened, we was not fucking with each other, we was beefed out. And I think in that case, you really got to come apology or ask for accountability or whatever before you can move on. And then in the case where it's just like been a while, I feel like similarly, like just communicate. Just communicate, reach out. I miss you. And I miss you text,
baby,
as future knows, can go a long way. So I think you could just, slide that in there like, hey, was thinking about you. Hope things are well. They might be like, hope things well with you too. You'd be like, hey, what you doing next week? Would love to catch up. Bam, boom. Get a little starting point. So yeah. But unfortunately, y'all, I got some bad news. We have to wrap up our episode for today. But don't worry. Heavy on the Feelings will be back in 2 weeks. Same time, same place. You know where you can find us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and comment, and follow us on Instagram, okay? Thank you so much to our generous guest, Jenn, okay? And y'all take good care. See y'all.
I love you.
We keeping that in there.
It be heavy on the feelings.
I woke up, lit my sage, read a page in the book. Sis, pull up on me, come have breakfast in the nook. All the worries went away, cause that was yesterday. Actually, I think that we deserve some rest, okay? Now let me ask you, friend, have you ate today? Maybe we could chef it up and make us a plate and make it feel like May, even if skies are gray. We letting off the good vibes and watch them ricochet, and let the negativity just dissipate. You can chill and drink your chai and participate. You're watching Heavy on the Fields with Aaron A. We march to our own drum, that's how we operate. We on that healing girl tip, yeah. Flying, we a trip, yeah. At first I was slipping and I finally got a grip. We manifesting and we earning. Might just get a twerking. Cooking up, we stirring. We still healing, we still working. That's real.
Sundown wind chimes, break it down, one line, a line.